In our lead stories, nationally, St. Kitts Nevis national studied in Taiwan not at high exposure risk for coronavirus. And autopsy reveals cause of death for Federation's first murder victim for 2020. Regionally, coffee takes reggae Grammy. Internationally, coronavirus death toll rises to 81 as China extends holiday. And in sports, sporting stars pay homage to Kobe Bryant. We'll have the details of these and other stories after this message.
Another look.
Different from how you've seen it before.
Another look.
Takes an in-depth look into business, politics, science, technology, religion, and more.
Another look.
Featuring documentaries from the BBC, regional features, and local ones too.
Another look.
Every Monday at 3 p.m. on the Eastern Caribbean's Powerhouse.
Wow.
Welcome back. Another national news in detail. Nationals from St. Kitts and Nevis, most of students studying in Taiwan, are not at high risk as it relates to the coronavirus. Chinese scientists have identified a previously unknown type of coronavirus as a cause of a recent pneumonia outbreak in the city of Wuhan, according to reports coming out of the country. The number of deaths in Hubei raised from 56 to 76, with 5 deaths elsewhere. There are more than 500 confirmed cases of the virus, which has killed 18 and has spread abroad, with Singapore and Vietnam the latest affected. Chief Medical Officer CMO here in St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Hazel Laws, spoke about the exposure of the virus by nationals studied in the territory.
As far as I'm aware, there isn't a history of other human-to-human spread in Taiwan other than these 3 imported cases from China to Taiwan. And so having said that, at this time, I did not get a sense that our students are at a high risk in Taiwan. Based on the reports I've received, these 3 cases are being managed. There is appropriate contact tracing in terms of all who they may have gotten into contact with en route from China to Taiwan.
But how grave is the risk of exposure of the virus to the population here in the Twin Island nation?
Persons who leave China en route to the Federation, they have to go to at least 1 or 2 other international ports of entry before coming to our shores. So a significant portion of them, they have U.S. visas, and so they tend to route through the United States. At present, they are being screened and interacted with before they come to St. Kitts and Nevis. So because there isn't any straight flight, the risk of the virus to the population is somewhat reduced.
The CMO explained that the health authorities here in the Federation are prepared and ready in the eventuality that a case is reported here in St. Kitts and Nevis.
The person will be isolated and quarantined appropriately and managed appropriately. You may have understood by now that much of the epidemiological information regarding this virus is still uncertain and unknown. And so even with specific therapeutic management, there isn't a specific therapeutic agent or even vaccine available yet for this particular new strain of this coronavirus. And so the management for these patients is supportive therapy. So in other words, the individuals who are ill, they are treated based on their clinical signs and symptoms.
Dr. Hazel Laws. Meanwhile, a sensitization training session was held here in St. Kitts and Nevis for immigration officers in the wake of the new coronavirus. The sessions were held in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA. The first training was held on St. Kitts on Friday, 24th January at 10 a.m. at the NEMA headquarters at Lime Keel, and the training on Nevis was held today, Monday, 27th January at 9:30 a.m. at the Vance W. Amory International Airport. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Laws explained the aim of the training.
The objective is to update the frontline workers in terms of what is this new virus, what it really means, and then to highlight the precautionary measures that we are taking in the Federation to protect our borders, our ports of entry.
Dr. Hazel Laws. In police news, a post-mortem examination was conducted by forensic pathologist Dr. Valerie Alexandrov on the body of 28-year-old Kennedy K. Isles on January 26, 2020. Isles was gunned down on Friday, January 24th. Dr. Alexandrov concluded that the cause of death was as a result of multiple gunshot wounds to the body. According to a police communique, investigations have revealed that Isles of Taylor's Village, who resided at Sundown Road, Newtown, St. Kitts, was outside his home when he was approached by an armed assailant who opened fire at him. He was shot several times about the body and succumbed to his injuries at the scene. The district medical officer arrived at the scene and pronounced him dead. Members of the forensic unit visited and processed the scene and collected several items of evidential value. Anyone who has any information in relation to this incident is asked to call the Violent Crimes Unit, VCU, at 467-1887-662-3468 or the Crime Hotline 707. Investigations into the matter are ongoing. This comes weeks following a report in December 2019 by Prime Minister Dr. Timothy Harris that homicides in St. Kitts and Nevis have fallen by 48% and made an overall drop in crime of 27%, and 2 weeks after the Federation recorded its first road fatality with the death of 42-year-old Melissa Lawrence of Newcastle, Nevis, who succumbed to her injuries on January 10, 2020, following a vehicular accident on January 1, 2020 in the Cotton Ground area. Meanwhile, the St. Kitts and Nevis Football Association has expressed condolences to the family of the late senior men's team and Newtown United player Kennedy K. Isles. The association said in a release that they and the entire football family in St. Kitts and Nevis are saddened by the news of the death of Isles on Friday evening. They noted, and I quote, "We take this opportunity to extend our condolences to the family of Kennedy and the members of the Newtown United Football Club. Our prayers and our thoughts are with his family and the members of the Newtown United FC during this time," end quote. The Community Nursing Services here on Nevis held its annual cervical cancer screening exercise, which included free pap smear screening on Saturday, January 25th, at all the health centers across the island. Coordinator of the Community Nursing Services is Nurse Ermin Jeffers.
We had our cervical cancer screening, and on that day, which was Saturday, we had about 113 persons who came to have their pap smears done. It was a little less than the previous year, but nonetheless, we want to thank persons for coming out.
Also stated what the aim of the exercise was.
We are trying to accommodate persons who don't get the opportunity to visit during the weekday to have it done. So that's why we organized to have it done on a Saturday. So persons who would have been working throughout the week, Monday to Friday, they were able to come in and have their pap smears done. And we also want to encourage persons to have their screening because early detection saves lives. And if they have a pap smear done and we realize that there are some abnormal cells which can lead to cancer, it can be treated before getting to that stage.
Coordinator of the Community Nursing Services, Nurse Ermin Jeffers. Premier of Nevis, Honorable Mark Brantley, will host his monthly press conference on Tuesday, January 28th at 10 a.m. This will be the first press conference for the Premier for 2020. The last conference was held in late November 2019. The forum will be held at the Cabinet Room on the second floor of the Social Security Building at Pinneys Estate here on Nevis. At the conference, Premier Brantley will update citizens and residents on matters of national interest. Members of the press corps will also be afforded the opportunity to ask questions for the listening and viewing public. The proceedings will be carried live here on VON Radio 860 AM as well as vonradio.com. Governor General of St. Kitts and Nevis, His Excellency Sir S.W. Tapley Seaton, has extended his condolences to the government and people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines on the passing of Sir Frederick Ballantyne, GCMG, MD, Doctor of Science. He was the former Governor General of St. Vincent and the Grenadines from 2002 to 2019. A trained cardiologist and former Chief Medical Officer of the country, he was appointed Governor General on September 2, 2002. He passed away at the age of 83 years. According to a press release from Government House in St. Kitts, Sir Tapley stated, and I quote, "I learned with deep regret of the passing of my esteemed colleague and friend Sir Frederick Ballantyne. On behalf of the government and people of St. Kitts and Nevis, I extend condolences to Sir Frederick's family, Her Excellency the Governor General, and the government and people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines." End quote. Nevis is set to see an increase in $50 million in Citizenship by Investment CBI proceeds. Premier of Nevis, Honorable Mark Brantley, has expressed that the amount is notable. This increase was first revealed by Prime Minister Dr. Honorable Timothy Harris during the 2020 federal budget in December 2019. The island of Nevis receives on an annual basis $30 million, which means that amount has gone up to $45 million. Here is Premier Brantley.
$45 million is welcomed. Clearly, it's a significant amount of money. But if $45 million does not reflect a proportional share of the proceeds, then it is still inadequate. So I want the public to understand very clearly, because I've heard a lot of inelegant language being employed, where people talk about it providing budgetary support. They're providing assistance to Nevis. I want people to be clear that all of that language is nonsense. The people of Nevis have not got a single penny, which is taxpayer money in St. Kitts. Not one penny. What we are talking about are the proceeds of the Citizenship by Investment program.
He also reminded the public that before the Team Unity movement came into government, an agreement was signed which was welcomed by the party leaders of the People's Action Movement, PAM, Concerned Citizens Movement, CCM, and the People's Labour Party, PLP.
All three leaders at the time, the Honorable Timothy Harris of the PLP, the Honorable Sean Richards of the PAM, and the Honorable Vance Amory of the CCM, signed something called the Charlestown Accord, which was drafted by me. So I know very well what it contains. And the Charlestown Accord provided in part that the proceeds of the Citizenship by Investment program would be shared on a pro rata basis based on population. The last census would suggest that Nevis had, I think, about 13,500 people. St. Kitts had about 35 or 36,000 people. That would put Nevis at about 1/3 of the population of St. Kitts.
Honorable Mark Brantley. And finally, pensioners here in St. Kitts and Nevis will see an increase in their benefits for the calendar year beginning January. The decision was taken by the Social Security Board and was announced by Senior Minister and Minister with Responsibility for Social Security, the Honorable Vance Amory, during the Thursday, 23rd January sitting of the National Assembly.
The Social Security Board, at its meeting of the 12th of December 2019, approved an increase to be applied to the age, invalidity, and survivors' pensioners, with 5% being the highest and 1% being the lowest. And this will come into effect this month, January 2020.
Minister Amory explained the various increases for pensioners.
Persons who became pensionable in 2015 or before would receive the 5% increase, while persons becoming pensionable in 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019 will see increases of 4%, 3%, 2%, and 1% respectively, and will be based on the year of the pensioners that the pensioner qualified for the pension. Persons at the maximum pension as at December 31st, 2019 will also receive the increase based on their year of qualification.
He also provided the total amounts that will be paid out for the increase.
The increase will come to $268,422 per month, or $3.2 million per year. The payments for pensions, etc., as mentioned, will increased to $99,272,510 per annum going forward from this point. The age pension, those who would benefit would be 4,375 persons. The survivor pension, 857 persons. Invalidity pension, 356 persons. Disablement pension, 56 persons. Disablement pension survivor, 21 persons. And constant care, 2 persons.
Honorable Vance Amory. That's the national news segment. You can visit our website at www.vonradio.com or check us out on Facebook at Von Radio or our Von Radio YouTube channel for these and other stories. News from across the region is next.
We know you have your personal as well as your business needs, and we're here to help. Our knowledgeable staff will work with you to help you achieve the financial success that you or your company needs in a competitive market. We offer solutions to make your banking experience easier, like our savings and checking accounts. Be sure to ask about our youth savers accounts and our Bank of Nevis Gold Club. We offer a wide range of personal loans, including mortgage, land, student, auto, and consumer loans. Have access to your funds instantly with our BeOnline internet banking and our debit and credit cards. We make international banking and investing easy. How's your business? Give it the leverage it really needs by letting the Bank of Nevis assist you with all the necessary funding for all your business expenses. It's that easy. What are you waiting for? The Bank of Nevis Limited, improving the quality of life.
Like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/The Bank of Nevis.
Welcome back. Another regional news in detail out of Jamaica. Coffee on Sunday became the first woman to win the Best Reggae Album category at the Grammy Awards when her EP Rapture Cup the cover title during the ceremony held at Staples Center in Los Angeles. At 19, she is also the youngest artist to win the category since reggae gained Grammy status in 1985. Rapture, which is distributed by Columbia Records, was released last year and yielded the big hit Toast. That song made charts in the United States and the United Kingdom and earned a thumbs up from former U.S. President Barack Obama. A past student of Arden High School, Coffee is from Spanish Town. She was a big favorite to win ahead of Third World with more work to be done. As I Am from Julian Marley, Steel Pulse's Mass Manipulation, and the final battle, Sly and Robbie versus the Roots Radics. Out of Antigua. A 37-year-old man will be spending 10 years behind bars for a sexual crime he committed against his 12-year-old stepdaughter a little over 2 years ago. In mid-November 2019, the convict appeared before Justice Ian Marlin, where he was arraigned and thereafter pleaded guilty to the charge of unlawful sexual intercourse with a female under the age of 14, contrary to Section 5 of the Sexual Offences Act. The offense occurred on the 17th of December 2017, but inappropriate touching began a year prior. The man reportedly used a tickle game as an opportunity to begin touching the young girl's privates. She subsequently complained to her mother and notified her that she did not want to be alone with him on the weekends, and the mother respected her request. However, even when the girl's other siblings were at home, the man would enter her room and fondle her. It was even reported that he would ask her to put on her mother's underwear and then told her she looked sexy. But it wasn't until the end of 2017 that the man raped the 12-year-old while they were at home with her baby sister and brother. And finally, out of Guyana. Presidential candidates for 3 of the 13 political parties contesting upcoming elections in Guyana have been barred from throwing their hats into the ring. Lennox Schumann, the candidate for the Liberty and Justice Party, United Republic Party candidate Dr. Vishnu Bandu, and the People's Republic Party candidate Dr. Valerie Leong will not be able to contest the March 2nd general and regional elections because they had dual citizenship at the time of their declaration on nomination day, January 10th, says the Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM. The latter two have U.S. citizenship, while Schumann is a Canadian citizen. As reinforced by a court ruling last year, the Guyana Constitution prevents anyone who has sworn allegiance to another country from sitting in the 65-member National Assembly. The ruling had forced resignations from both the government and opposition benches. GECOM Commissioner Robinson Ben said that as a result of the discovery that the three had made false declarations in respect of their dual citizen status, they could face legal action as it is considered a misdemeanor punishable by up to a year in prison. That's it for the regional stories. Stay with us for news from around the world. Welcome back, and now the international news in detail. The number of people killed in China by the new coronavirus has risen to 81, with almost 3,000 confirmed ill. The National New Year holiday has been extended by 3 days to Sunday in an attempt to contain the spread. On Monday, Chinese Premier Li Keqiang visited Wuhan, the capital of Hubei province and center of the outbreak. The number of deaths in Hubei rose from 56 to 76, with 5 deaths elsewhere. Wuhan is in lockdown and several other cities have imposed travel bans. A student in Wuhan speaking to the BBC said residents were not allowed to leave their homes.
Generally, the streets are empty. There is fear and panic. Initially, we were calm, but we realized that the infections keep rising, and they've told us not to even go to hospital if you are sick, because you're safer when you are home. So this is also now making us panic more.
Meanwhile, Mongolia has shut its vast border with China to stop the new coronavirus from spreading north. The BBC's Celia Hatton gives us more.
Mongolia has not reported any cases of the new coronavirus that is spreading in neighboring China. However, the Mongolian authorities aren't taking any chances. They're closing all land crossings along the 4,700-kilometer Chinese border. Mongolia says it's also shutting all schools and suspending all public events. North Korea closed its border several days ago, leaving only Myanmar in the south with an open land border to China.
The former First Lady Michelle Obama can now add Grammy winner to her resume after snagging the award on music's biggest night for Best Spoken Word Album for the audiobook of her memoir, Becoming. Her win on Sunday gives the Obama household its third Grammy. Former President Barack Obama has already snagged 2 Grammys in the same category for his books. She faced an eccentric group of rivals that include Michael Diamond and Adam Horowitz of the Beastie Boys for Beastie Boys book, and John Waters, the director-performer known for his transgressive cult films for Mr. Know-It-All. Released in late 2018, Becoming saw the former First Lady slam President Donald Trump for questioning her husband's citizenship and promoting the notion that he was born abroad. And finally, Holocaust survivors and international leaders are honoring victims of the Nazis at the former Auschwitz death camp amid calls for fight resurgent anti-Semitism. The presidents of Israel and Poland, Reuven Rivlin and Andrzej Duda, laid wreaths together 75 years after Soviet troops liberated the camp. About 1.1 million people, mostly Jews, were murdered at Auschwitz-Birkenau. Mr. Rivlin warned of voices which spread hate and threatened democracy. He and President Duda laid wreaths at the death wall where the Nazis shot thousands of prisoners. And that brings us to the end of our news segments. The latest in sports is next.
I need a cool laptop, a new backpack, and so do all my friends. I need cute notebooks, folders, flashlights, pencils, and my pens. School is exciting, but it's no fun without all the tools I need. But I'm at ease, cause it's a breeze if I shop at TDC. Oh yeah!
It's back to school at TDC Business Center and City Drugstore Nevis. your one-stop shop for all your school supply needs. Get bundle savings on backpack and computer packages, but save 20% off all back-to-school materials and printers. Back-to-school shopping is made easy at TDC Business Center and City Drugstore Nevis. See stores for details.
Welcome back. Another sports in detail. Sporting stars from across the globe, including Tom Brady and Neymar, have paid tribute to Kobe Bryant after the Los Angeles Lakers icon was killed in a helicopter crash. Following the initial reports of Bryant's passing, athletes and teams from across the world of sport posted their tributes to the Lakers great on social media. New England Patriots great Brady wrote on his Twitter page, "We miss you already, Kobe." Patrick Mahomes, another superstar NFL quarterback, said, "Man, not Kobe. Prayers to his family and friends." Bryant was an Olympic champion like Usain Bolt, the great sprinter, who posted a picture of the former NBA star on his page. "Still can't believe it. At Kobe Bryant," he said. Meanwhile, Neymar, who scored twice in Paris Saint-Germain's win over Lille on Sunday, dedicated his second goal to the Lakers legend. In basketball, LeBron James surpassed Kobe Bryant to become the NBA's third highest scorer of all times in the LA Lakers' 108-91 defeat by the Philadelphia 76ers. James, 35, scored 29 points to move to 33,655 career points, 12 more than former Lakers star Bryant. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the ex-Lakers and Milwaukee Bucks center, is the NBA's all-time top scorer on 38,387 points. Former Utah Jazz forward Karl Malone, who also briefly played for the Lakers, is second on 36,928 points. James, in his 17th NBA season, received a standing ovation from the Philadelphia crowd after scoring the basket that saw him pass Bryant's total in the third quarter. Tobias Harris and Ben Simmons scored 29 and 28 points respectively to lead the Sixers to victory. And finally, in cricket, South Africa bowler Vernon Philander has been fined 15% of his match fee for using inappropriate language after dismissing England's Josh Butler in the fourth test. The steamer 34 shouted in Butler's direction after removing him from 20 on day 2 in Johannesburg. Butler was fined 15% of his match fee for swearing at Philander during the second test. Philander will retire from Test cricket after the fourth test. He was also given one demerit point by the International Cricket Council after being charged with using language, actions, or gestures which disparage or which could provoke an unaggressive reaction from a batter. England all-rounder Ben Stokes was also fined 15% of his match fee and given a demerit point for swearing at a spectator after being dismissed on day 1 of the fourth test. Players can be suspended if they accumulate 4 demerit points in a 2-year period. England leads 2-1 in the fourth match series. That's it for sports. The general weather report is next. Welcome back, another weather. But tonight it will be fair to partly cloudy with a 20% or slight chance of a brief shower. Winds are southeast at 5 to 12 miles per hour, becoming variable or calm at times. Seas are 1 to 1.5 meters or 3 to 5 feet. Sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:43 a.m. And that's how we wrap up the major news package for today, Monday, 27th January 2020. Before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Nationally, St. Kitts Nevis national studying in Taiwan not at high exposure risk for coronavirus. And autopsy reveals cause of death for Federation's first murder victim for 2020. Regionally, coffee takes reggae Grammy. Internationally, coronavirus death toll rises to 81 as China extends holiday. And in sports, sporting stars pay homage to Kobe Bryant. On behalf of the rest of the news team, I am Tashan Tyson, wishing you a pleasant evening.